Hey everyone, Brandon here from iDub Hockey, joined with Nick, who's the product manager of Protective Head and Face here at CCM. We have your incredible new FT6 Pro glove line in front of us. But before we dive into the incredible features that you guys have added this year, how would you describe the fit profile on the hand and maybe that style of player it's geared for?
Yeah, so when we're talking jet speed, we're staying true to our DNA, right? We're not reinventing the wheel. We know we've got a really comfortable fit and a really great fit in our jet speed. So when we talk about jet speed, we're always talking about that mobile, tapered player, fast on his skates. If I'm taking a forward, right, I'm thinking about Connor McDavid. If I'm thinking about a defenseman, I'm talking about Heiskanen in Dallas. Really these puck movers that can get the puck from zone A to zone B, that really want to have that mobile and tapered look. I think JetSpeed's got you covered on that side.
Those are some pretty big names rocking the JetSpeed line.
Deep lineup at CCM. Yes. We're really proud of it.
So let's dive into that FT6 Pro. Incredible addition and technology that you've introduced. So AirTech thermal regulation system.
Right.
What is it and how does it benefit the player?
So CCM's got a fantastic team of the engineers and designers that basically will review the product and see how we can make it better. So one thing I think all hockey players can understand is when you step on the ice, you're warm, you're hot, right? Mm-hmm. When you look at that third period, you look at these 13-year-olds, they're playing 7 games in probably in a tournament in a weekend, right? We gotta have that gear looking fresh every time they step on the ice.
Right.
So we observed that problem. We looked at ourselves like, how can we make gear feel like it's fresh every time they get on the ice? So our designers and our engineers did a great job at reviewing a bunch of different technologies, and what they came up with is our new AirTech suspension system. So AirTech is basically powered by our suspension system. So as you can see, is that AirTech suspension system will get in that cool air inside your gear to allow all that sweat, moisture, and humidity to get outside your gear. So once again, making sure that every time you step on the ice, you have fresh feeling glove, and I'm sure we'll get more into the details of all these different products.
That's amazing. So sweaty hands are not going to be an issue anymore.
Palms are sweaty, no longer a thing.
That's awesome. And it does incorporate those ventilation ports as well?
Exactly. So it's all great about getting airflow in, but you actually have to give it a path, you actually give it an exit, right?
Right.
So this is where all our ventilation holes come inside the glove, because AirTech's gonna get most of the job to get that air in, but you actually have to give it a pathway, right? You gotta find it a way to get out, and this is where all our vents come in and get all that moisture and all that humidity outside our gear.
Right on. So now let's dive into the protection package.
Yeah.
Elite level, but feather light protection.
Exactly.
So what's going on underneath the hood?
So of course, when we're talking jet speed, right, we're always about mobility, but this doesn't change the fact that we're still an elite protection glove, right? We want to make sure that when we offer these lightweight products, that players step on the ice, they have the confidence that when they actually receive an impact on their gloves, they're not getting injured, right? We want to make sure that they're covered when they're on the ice. So how do we do this? So on our backhand, we'll have thicker foams, right, than you'll find on other products, and to make sure that that can actually not only receive the impact, but distribute impact energy, right? Because it's not all about where we can take the impact, but it's actually what you actually do with all that energy that comes with it, right?
Right. Totally.
Exactly.
So what were the foams that you've used in that protection package?
So we're really excited. We have our premium Zote foam on the backhand to make sure that we have that elite protection on our first price point. And we also have our PE inserts around the fingers and on the backhand, so to have that extra protection to make sure that not only are we receiving the energy, right, but we're distributing after the impact.
Right, and that Zote foam incredibly lightweight.
Exactly.
Right? To keep that feather light.
So totally fits with that DNA when we're talking about jet speed, right?
Totally.
Lightweight, mobile, agile, Zote foam, hits all those boxes.
Right on. Now let's flip over into the palm there. Incredible new design, nice embossed palm as well.
Exactly.
What's that called and what does it do?
So we brought in our new palm. It's actually called Sensalast Pro, and we've also added a nice little reinforcement on the palm to make sure that your gloves last a long time and that you're not constantly switching your palms, right? Because we know that is an issue when you're talking about premium gloves. Palm durability is super important, and it's something we work really hard to make sure that you're buying a glove that'll last you as long as you can, right?
I love it, and I really love how you guys extended it down right into the cuff there.
Exactly, right? So we want to make sure that the landing zone is far enough so players aren't feel hindered, right, by the palm or by the reinforcement, because we want to make sure that it's all great that you have a soft feeling palm, right?
Right.
Like if that reinforcement is all thick and hard, right, it's not going to do anything.
Exactly.
So we want to make sure it's nice and comfortable.
Right on. I did notice a stretch cuff as well.
Yeah.
Is that a new design this year? Or?
Yeah, so we actually have our open cuff for this one. Mobility is super important when we're talking about a cuff, so we got our open flex cuff on this one. So we really want to allow the player, as he's moving his hand around, the glove isn't limiting him in any way. The glove actually enables him to be more of himself. So as he's playing, he's not feeling the glove working around. The glove is actually working for him. And that's all thanks to our new open flex cuff.
Right on. And last but not least is the incredible soft liner that you guys
Pretty
have.
great.
So yeah, what's going on in there?
So when you think about comfort of glove, it's super important that we not only think about the comfort behind the hand, right? Because a glove, when you think about glove comfort, there's a whole lot of package that goes into it, right? When you put your hand in, you got that instant comfort, and when you're actually closing the fingers, you experience all the comfort around the fingers and the palm.
Right.
So when we talk comfort, it's really important that we're not only talking palm, we're not only talking fingers, we're talking about the whole package that works together to make sure that we have a better fitting glove. And this all starts with softer foams and more cushiony, so when you put your hand in, it feels welcoming and not that hard, right?
Yes, exactly. When you put your hand in there and that PU cushion foam gives you out of the box comfort.
Exactly,
really nice.
right.
And then it's treated with Polygene technology, correct?
Yeah,
What does Polygene do for the player?
So stinky hands are a thing, right? So we want to make sure that keeping your hand dry is super important, but actually when you finish playing, right, it's not only important to keep the hand dry, but also to make sure that we get rid of all those microbes and all those all these bacteria inside the glove. Right. Polygene just does a really great job of removing that and making sure your gloves feels nice and fresh when you're off the ice.
Right on. Well, that is an incredible FT6 Pro this year. Fantastic. You have the FT6 here as well.
Yes.
A lot of those features are being brought down, giving this glove a ton of value for that elite level player.
Exactly.
So could you walk us through what's going to stand out in the FT6?
For sure. I'll give you a little trade.
All right.
All right. So when we're talking about the FT6, for sure, when you're talking about the FT6 Pro, you'll have more air tech, you'll have a little more softer foams, you'll have a little more protection, right?
Right.
But that doesn't mean that when we're talking about our second price point, still in an elite glove, you just lose certain parts of that technology. So instead of having max air tech, you'll probably have an elite level in air tech, right? So when you look at the backhand on the FT6, you'll actually notice that there are 2 ventilation holes instead of 3 that you'll find on the FT6 Pro. So again, you're getting elite ventilation, just not as much as you would get on the FT6 Pro.
And now for that protection package, still elite level protection for those high impacts. What are the foams that are used?
So on our top price point, like I said earlier, we have our premium Zote foam on the top price point. As we go into the second price point, we'll have our pro level PE foams inside.
Okay.
So on the protection level, I'll probably describe it as an elite level of protection instead of our FT6 Pro, which will be more on the maximum level of protection. So it's still a great fitting glove and still get that elite protection for those players.
Right on. And then let's dive into the palm. What's going on there?
So again, similar story. On our top price point, you'll have our Sensalast Pro Palm. On our second price point, we'll have our Sensalast Palm. So again, very similar to what we're looking at the first price point. For sure, in terms of comfort, you'll lose a little on that side, but still very, very durable with our black reinforcement and still a very durable glove.
Okay, now we have the FT680, a real price fighter here, bringing a lot of value to a lot of players, especially in the recreational casual leagues. So yeah, just walk me through this glove and what's going on.
So the first thing I'll say about our FT680 gloves is durability. So when we're talking about a third price point, you really want to make sure you're buying a product that'll last you a long time, that you're going to get enough bang for your buck, right? We don't want you to step in store and buy your glove and a month later you're going to have issues with your palm. So when you're buying a third price point, I think a key point that you need to bring is durability in that light mobile package that JetSpeed's known about.
Right on. Well, Nick, thank you so much for walking us through your incredible FT6 Pro line.
Always a pleasure.
And for you at home, if you want to get your hands on one of these incredible CCM FT6 models, you can head over to icewarehouse.com.